Bitcoin, it's not expensive. You wanna know about this and the last information about the crypto world? Then smash the like button. It's time for Crypto News, Crypto to the Max with Rodrigo Arnito. Today, at the beginning of the video, I want to have this thought with you. I want to share this because, again, I was with this friend and we had the same conversation we always have. We were like, well, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, and finally she says, yeah, but right now it's so expensive. And I'm like, I can't believe it's been 8 years, 7 years, something like that. And we have the same conversation all over again. And it's always, it's too expensive. And we had that conversation where Bitcoin was close to 1,000, 7,000, 20,000, then maybe 40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000. And right now we are above 100K. And I'm sure that we're going to have the same conversation again in like 1 year. And she's going to say again, it's so expensive right now when we are in 200K. So why don't you just sit down, shut the fuck up, like Michael Saylor is saying here, and buy Bitcoin? Well, that's frustrating, but any case, it's understandable because as Elon Musk said in Joe Rogan's show, if you talk to somebody who gets all their information from legacy media, they are living in a different world that if they're listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, to CryptoNews, Rodrigo Arneidos, or getting news from X. They are living in an alternative reality. So, if you want to take some of my advice that I don't give to anyone, I'm not expert, this is not any kind of advice, but what I would say to myself is just turn off the TV, get rid of your TV. You don't want a TV in your place, and start watching the world from another perspective. Back to Bitcoin, we have here this chart, weekly one, and you can see we closed the weekly in a very interesting point. We are in the support with previous highs, and we created this very special candle, which is called a bullish hammer. And you can see that if we go to the past, we just had one of these candles when Bitcoin started going up in September 2024. Also, we had this one on January 2024. We had this one on September 2023. And we had this one on November 2022. And you can see that was exactly the beginning of the next bull run. So maybe this is the sign, and maybe, just maybe, we're going to change the trend and go up again. See also this old chart of us, how we bounce back after all Elon and Donald Trump's crisis. We bounce back and we are between this parallel channel right now. Very interesting. We need to break this line in 106 in order to keep on going higher. But I believe this is not going to happen before, who knows, but I believe that we need to close this gap in the 4 hours time frame in the futures of the CME, which means Bitcoin has to go to around 105 and 500 in order to close it, and maybe then break this line and go to the moon, or again, it doesn't matter, maybe go a little bit lower, but do not miss the train, because maybe this is a very simple Bitcoin chart that's telling you that if we break that line, we might have this bull flag that is bringing us to 130K. Amazing times also if we compare Bitcoin chart right now with 2024. We have here 1 day time frame versus 12 hours time frame. And you can see how similar, it's almost the same chart. That means that Bitcoin should go up. We'll see about that. ARK Investments Cathy Booth believes that. She explains that she thinks Bitcoin will multiply by 15x in the next 5 years. Yeah, also Michael Saylor believes that he's buying again this week. Europe's MicroStrategy, they are buying again. They're raising 300 million euros in order to buy more. And we have another company now coming from Japan called Remix Point They announced they're buying 44.8 Bitcoin. That's worth close to $5 million. Coinbase released a new Bitcoin commercial. He compared the price of houses from 2012 to right now and how it's more and more expensive buying your house at the same time that is less and less expensive buying it with Bitcoin. This is telling us something. Here you have that number, that data, 2016 to 2024, how it almost doubled buying a house while we came from 664 Bitcoin for buying a house in 2016 to just 6 Bitcoin buying it on 2024. And I asked Grok to follow this data to make a projection to 2020 to 2030. And you can see that Bitcoin goes a little bit up and down. So we'll be around 5 Bitcoin at 2030 if we do the same correlation. But in euros or in dollars, you can see that it's just more and more and more. So yeah, Bitcoin might be the solution. This week, we expect volatility. We have today allegedly negotiations with China about trade. On Wednesday, we are going to have CPI data. And Thursday, we're also going to have some data. This is the last time we have this kind of information before Fed decision of rising or not the raise on the 18th. Elon Musk also, well, he kept the drama with Donald Trump. He said about the beautiful bill that he never wrote it, and almost they released it dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could ever read it. But turns out that allegedly Donald Trump and Elon Musk are having conversations, telephonic conversations, in order to make up. And you'll see that the market recovered just some hours before that. Even it's said out there that Trump and Elon, they are deleting all posts that pointed against each other. So maybe their friendship, might be saved. We'll see about it. Even Elon Musk is reposting Donald Trump's tweets about LA. Very interesting development. We'll see about that friendship. And the friendship is never going to be solved is the one with Donald Trump and Jerome Powell. President Trump is going to announce the next Fed chair very soon. And the idea here is that Jerome Powell, he still has a job till May 2026. But Trump is preparing to announce that replacement. We're going to have this phantom Fed chair. So this just puts pressure into Jerome Powell's and the Fed allegedly. Remember, we have this critical day on the 18th, still 1 week to go, but it's very important. We told you everything about that in previous videos. You don't have to miss even the one because you have their comparisons with dollar behavior in 2017. Also, the patterns we told you, this mega fund, also this bullish pennant. You need to know about the bullish cross, of course, and the two scenarios we are considering for Bitcoin to go south. This one in the daily and this one in the weekly. This one would consider the situation, the possibility of where we are in a bear market right now. But also, we told you, and we have new data today about the monetary supply and how this affects Bitcoin allegedly. If that's the case, if this is true, Bitcoin needs to go higher. The altcoins, the bubbles, are mostly in the red today. We'll see about them. Ethereum seems that wants to go down in the weekly as we projected, but we don't care about Ethereum in the short term because we have always good news about Ethereum. We have a nice rotation into Ethereum if we talk about bridge, also about stable coins. Remember, this is a huge narrative in my opinion, and mostly all of the stable coins world comes in Ethereum. Other of my favorites like Sui, good news for them. Cetus Protocol relaunched after the hack. They are recovering 99% of the liquidity, and they are giving money back to people that were affected. So good for Sui, good for Cetus, and also good for Hype. and now you can buy app just with Apple Pay. So good development there. I'm not buying, actually I'm selling hype when we get to 50. I believe we are still in a nice entry point. I have no idea, but this line, maybe 33, might be it if we don't break it. And about Sui, well, I'm out of it. I want to be in. And I believe that maybe I have the opportunity of buying it at 2.5, 2.6. We were last week 2.8. So, well, who knows? I'm going to wait. And if not, I'm out of it. And I say goodbye with this cat is reminding us that you should have bought in Bitcoin in the past. It's the interstellar cat trying to take you out of your computer where you're playing LOL or something similar and trying to make you buy some Bitcoin. Amazing things that we always watch here in the show. You have it in Spanish, you have it, of course, in English. And I'm so happy that the one that we created last week by Bitcoin, this video made it to the fifth more watched video in the English version of this channel, where we have 606 videos already. Thank you for bearing with my accent. I keep on researching and I will share the information with you, of course, here in the next show. Crypto News, Rodrigo Ornido, health, money, love, party in peace, and the best is yet to come. To the moon!